any identifier, any heading, is that if I misspell any month, it doesn't work. It produces an error because when you're using a lookup, you have to use the exact same spelling as what was used in the table, right? So if I enter May with two Y's or I misspell anything, it's not going to work. So how do I solve this problem? Now, if you look at the second lookup here, we have another lookup here. This lookup has a drop down list, which allows me to easily scroll and pick whichever month I want. This way, it prevents me from misspelling any month. Okay, so I can select anything, any month, including the total, and it looks up the sales figure, right? So how do I produce this kind of drop down list over here? Okay, now what you want to do is select the cell you want the drop down list in. So I'm going to click here, and under the data tab, I want you to come to data validation under data tools, right? Select it, and under allow here, press this drop down and select list. I want a list. Okay, and when he asks you for source, you could go ahead and type January, then type February, and attempt to type all of them out, but that will take way too long. So instead, I could just I could just select the range, right? Control Shift down, and I have the entire range, and press OK. And when I do that, I have a drop down list here, which would prevent me from misspelling. So I can use my VLOOKUP quite fine. Okay, so looks up August. Okay. Now, what if I wanted, let's move on to sheet 3. What if I wanted that same drop down list over here, right? Now you may say, okay, fine, let's just go back to under data tab, let's go back to data validation, right? And I select list, and when I want to choose my source, I come to sheet 2. Sorry, when I want to choose my source, I come to sheet 2 and I just select the entire range. Okay, and although that works for Excel version before 2010, for Excel version before 2010, let me go back and remove the data validation. For Excel 2007 and some other version before 2010, when I try to create this drop down list, right? Let me go to drop down list. When I try to create this drop down list and I get to the part of selecting my source, it will not allow me to change the sheet I'm in. It will allow me to go to sheet 2 and now select the month. So it will stop me from moving sheets when I try to choose my source. Okay, although this problem was fixed in Excel 2010 onwards. So how do I work around that problem for those of you who are using Excel 2007? How do I work around that problem? How I want to work around that problem is by something called naming, a concept called naming. Okay, so let me briefly introduce you to this concept called naming. So every cell in Excel has a name. Like this cell, for instance, has the name E13, and you can see it here in the name box. E13, E from the column, 13 from the row, right? Every cell has a name and it is recognized everywhere within this workbook. So now I can give a cell a name. Like let me give this cell H7. Let me give it the name Ope. Let me give this cell H7 the name Ope. Now to do that, once I've selected the cell, I come over to the name box and I enter Ope. And when I enter Ope, I press enter. And once I've pressed enter, as you can see, the name here changes to Ope. So now I've given this cell a different name. So now let me type something into this cell H7 or Ope. Let me type in Leolua Jegede. Okay. Now I can even refer to this cell Ope. Let's say here equals to Ope. I can see the name I've given it comes up, and it's going to refer just like it would do to any other cell because I've named this cell. Okay. So now with that in mind, you can name a cell and you can name a range of cells, right? So what I want to do now is to name the range of cells we want to put inside our drop down list. So I'm going to select the range of cells including the total. Then under the name box, I'm going to give it the name month. Then press enter. It's very important to press enter. And I've pressed enter and I've named it so that wherever I am within my workbook, everyone knows that when I say months, I'm talking about this range of cells. Okay. Then let me go back to sheet 3 and let me attempt to put the data validation list again. So once I come over here under a data tab and I go to data validation and allow a list source. Now, once you're under source, you can press F3. What F3 does, it brings up the paste name box so that any cell you've given a name comes up, and I can just select months and press OK. So that it is now sourcing from those range of cells we named months. Okay, and this equals to sign is very important because without it, let me remove the equals to sign and let me show you what happens. Without this equals to sign, the drop down list I have is just months, right? So what I want to do is let me put it in the proper way now. I'm on the cell, going back to data validation, and under here, let me go back. Under here, I press F3 and I just select month. Okay, equals to month, and I can press OK. Now, in the data validation list, we have exactly all those months, including including the total. So this is just a workaround for those of you with Excel 2007 where you can't change your sheets when you brought up the data validation. Okay. Now, what if I would like to refer to a cell from another sheet? Okay, so right here we have the exchange rate for $1 to Indian rupees. So $1 gives you 51.83 Indian rupees. So let's go back to sheet 2. What if right next to the sales figure in dollars, I wanted sales figures in Indian rupees? Okay, I wanted them right next to it. So the calculation you like to do is equals to select the cell, then multiply it by, then you come over to sheet 3 and you just select it, right? Then press F4 to lock it so that when you drag it down, it doesn't change. Press enter. Oops, something went wrong. Let me go back. Okay, let me delete this. Okay, so multiply it by, let me go back to the exchange rate. then lock it by pressing F4 once, press enter and drag it down. Okay, so that's the approach you like to take. Now, how can I use naming to make this process easier? Because I may not want to have to change sheets every time I want to refer to a cell. So I can just select this cell, then under the name box, I can give it a special name. I can give it US dollar INR. So I know this is the exchange rate for dollars to rupees, and press enter. Now when I go back to sheet 2 and I want to find my sales in rupees, I can just do equals to, select the sales in dollars and multiply it by, and I start typing USD, and you can see my naming comes up. I click on it and I press enter, right? And with this I still have my sales, and I can drag it down and it gives me the sales in rupees, exactly what I want. Okay, so that's just using naming to refer to a cell in another sheet. Now let me go back to sheet 3, and you can see that even if I change, let's say I change this cell, I change it to 10, and I go back to sheet 2, you can see it reflects here. It multiplies each sales in dollars by 10. Okay, so let's go back to sheet 3, and the last thing I want to show you in this lesson is how to how to edit a cell you've already named. So under the formulas tab, I want you to come to name manager, and under name manager you see all the cells and all the ranges of cells you've named, and you can edit them, you can delete them. So here let's say I just want to change the name to, from USD INR, change to INR USD. Okay, now I can close it, and wherever I enter INR USD, it reflects the new figure. Okay, so that's it for dashboards for this lesson. We'll be diving more into dashboards in the lesson to come. Thanks for watching. Once again, I'd like to hear your feedback. Write a comment in the comment section below. Send me an email or a WhatsApp message. Thank you very much for watching.